Hi there, Andrew Lessman here with a little sneak peek of our today's special this evening, or I should say today's specials this evening at midnight. We'll be introducing one of our biggest Today Specials of the year because it is a foundational product in my product line. It's our Essential One multivitamin. Also, we'll talk about vitamin K2 MK7, a relatively recent introduction or addition to the world of vitamins. And since we're talking about a complete multivitamin, vitamin K2 MK7, which is delivered and presented separately, I thought it would be an appropriate time to also have a Today Special for that. But let's start first speaking about Essential One. And Essential One delivers more than just what you expect from a typical multivitamin. A typical multivitamin delivers really the minimum daily requirements, not the levels that most individuals choose to supplement, especially when you look at important nutrients like vitamin D and vitamin B12. So we make sure that with our small, easy to swallow capsule, you get separate levels of vitamin D and B12. In fact, you could choose between two formulas. The standard is 2,000 IU, but if you're combining it with other formulas that have additional vitamin D, you can get a formula of Essential One with 1,000 IU of vitamin D. So it's your choice, 1,000 IU or 2,000 IU of vitamin D3. It's the vitamin D separately would almost be the price of the formula, the product today at its today special pricing. And of course, the pricing today, best pricing ever. Also, the pricing today, it's better than a buy one, get one free. So great opportunities to get the most unique multivitamin in the world. And what also makes it unique, when I was talking about what you don't get with typical multivitamins, and you don't get the levels of vitamin D and B12, the special forms we deliver, we also don't deliver all of the colors and additives that they deliver. So if you're someone who cares about what you put in your body, not only do you want to make sure the vitamins and minerals are in their best form, but you want to make sure you're not getting a lot of other garbage, frankly, along with it. Binders, fillers, artificial colors, all the leading multivitamins contain artificial colors. So, in fact, artificial colors, you can't even find those ingredients in a typical healthier grocery store. But artificial colors, nevertheless, are present in the leading multivitamins, which has always shocked me. And I've spoken about this since the day I started my company 40 years ago. And in 40 years, I would have expected decades ago that would have changed. But today, even though certain pharmaceuticals and medications have removed the artificial colors from their formulas because they know children take them or individuals with sensitivities take them, there are still artificial colors in the leading multivitamins. Appalling. And a list of a dozen or more additives. Binders, fillers. You can't make a tablet without adding binders and fillers and coatings and waxes and things like that. Things like carnauba wax. I think carnauba wax is used in car wax or shoe polish, things like that. But you won't find any of those things in my product. So if you care about your body, the only reason you're taking a multivitamin is because you care about your body. So it's absolutely contradictory the way those companies go about making their products. And they basically, I think, prey upon the ignorance of people who are buying their products. Oftentimes, those lists of other ingredients that you don't want in your body, those lists are just on the box. When you get home, you throw the box away. So you don't really see it. So you don't know what's really in there necessarily. And again, the forms, the levels, the typical B12 is a form of B12 cyanocobalamin that your body liberates trace amounts of cyanide. If your body can absorb it at all, which most times the form of B12 they use isn't absorbable and will be destroyed by the acid in your stomach. But if your body could absorb it at all, it's going to process it and metabolize it and liberate something called cyanide. Cyanide is poisonous. Yes, there is cyanide, traces of cyanide in our food supply, but why would we want to add cyanide basically when other forms are available of B12 that are more natural? The natural coenzyme form in your body is something called methylcobalamin. That's what we use. And we protect it from stomach acid, so it's going to be usable, absorbable, and beneficial to you. But I could go on with a long list of the differences that, the more technical differences that make the experience with my product so far superior. You could read the thousands of reviews on our Essential One multivitamin, and it's rated 4.7 stars, which is an incredible accomplishment, because 4.7 stars means that about 95+% of the reviews are positive, that about 85% of the reviews are perfect 5-star reviews. That is not what you find for typical multivitamins. Why? Because typical multivitamins are difficult to swallow, even though they're lower potency than mine. They upset your stomach. They're miserable to take, miserable to use. They're the multivitamins that our doctors recommend we take, but we end up quitting because they're just unpleasant to use. So I think the greatest accomplishment with my multivitamin aren't all the technical and scientific things we do right, but the basic human experience that we do right. The fact that we put it in a small, soft, easy to swallow capsule. The fact that there's an ultrafine powder in that capsule that immediately dissolves and disintegrates and goes to work benefiting you. The typical multivitamin is a tablet. 99+% of the multivitamins in America are in tablets because they're cheaper and easier for the manufacturer to make. Those tablets are made from raw materials that came in a beautiful, soluble powder form. They then coat those granules with waxes, essentially with glues and binders that make them stick together. Then they coat that tablet with more ingredients that all it does is disrupt your body's ability to utilize it, absorb it, makes it harder to swallow. And then when a multivitamin, multi-mineral is made into a tablet, effectively, minerals, what did you effectively create when you create a tablet or when those manufacturers create a tablet? They create a rock. And it's no wonder these things upset your stomach, because a rock, minerals, that is this little object that has to slowly disintegrate and dissolve while it's sitting in your stomach. It's no wonder that one of the most common complaints with the leading multivitamins, beyond difficult swallowing, is upset stomach and all sorts of other gastric and GI symptoms. Not the case with my product. My product, ultrafine powder, pH neutral, won't upset your stomach. It's basically the same pH as water, so it won't upset your stomach, and it's going to be easy to swallow. And that ultrafine powder, easy analogy I always give is if you put an ultrafine powder in a cup of coffee or tea, it pretty much dissolves on the surface and disappears right there, because that ultrafine powder provides so much more surface area for it to mix with the liquid. You put a sugar cube in an iced tea or put it in a cup of coffee, it's going to sit on the bottom, because that sugar cube only has the exterior surface exposed, limited surface area. Imagine a tablet that, unlike a sugar cube, can't eventually be easily penetrated by liquid. Imagine that tablet, a lot of the ingredients are not even soluble at all. So that tablet just sits there, and basically it's that tablet that is the reason why most people don't particularly enjoy their multivitamins. And most people, as I say, love to hate their multivitamin. So with my product, all you get are all the benefits you'd seek from a multivitamin. We give you levels of separate nutrients that, yes, it might eliminate your need to buy those nutrients separately from me, but that should be the case. With a multivitamin, the highest profile separate ingredients that are most frequently deficient or most frequently insufficient should be adequately provided. That's vitamin D and B12. We also give you vitamin C in a form that won't upset your stomach because it's non-acidic. We don't use typical ascorbic acid. We use a form of ascorbic acid that's pH neutral, calcium ascorbate. So it's non-acidic and it delivers a bonus of additional calcium. So you get all the nutrients you want, and especially when it comes to the leading multivitamins, there are 3 ingredients that are called carotenoids. And those 3 carotenoids, lutein, zeaxanthin, and lycopene, those 3 carotenoids are the most expensive, or among the most expensive ingredients you'll find in any vitamin supplement. We're talking about ingredients for the active components. You're talking about thousands of dollars per kilogram. A kilogram is 2 pounds. So you're talking about something that's a couple of $1,000s at least per pound. Needless to say, those very expensive ingredients are almost nowhere to be found in the leading multivitamins. So in the leading multivitamins, sometimes you'll find trace amounts of lutein, maybe trace amounts of lycopene in just a couple of them. 99% of the leading multivitamins sold probably don't contain any lutein, any lycopene. None of them contain zeaxanthin. So if you're looking at those vitamins, you're seeing, with all the popular advertising dollars behind them, they have enormous advertising budgets promoting their products. But unfortunately, they're not spending their investment on the product and on your health. They're spending it on marketing, trying to convince you to try their product instead of investing in making that product and that experience better for you. So no lutein, critical for good vision, no lycopene, critical for prostate health, breast health, circulatory health. These ingredients support numerous systems throughout the body. Zeaxanthin also critical for eye health. So our product is comprehensive. It's respectful to you in that it gives you the levels of the nutrients you seek. It's also respectful to you because you shouldn't get a stomach ache, a belly ache when you take a multivitamin. You shouldn't struggle to swallow it. You shouldn't have to time when you take it so that you're going to be taking it with a big meal, because otherwise it's going to make you nauseous or miserable. Your multivitamin should accommodate you. It should flex to meet your needs, and that's exactly what Essential One does. So Essential One is unlike any other multivitamin in the world, and as much as I could speak about it till I'm blue in the face, as blue as this shirt, what makes it unique and what makes whatever I might say credible is the fact that you could read those reviews. We make sure they are all available, the good ones, the bad ones, in all their glory. It just so happens that there's a tiny, tiny amount of bad reviews. That, again, as I said before, over 95% of the reviews are positive. It's hard to find a unanimous opinion like that. You could find the best movie, the best book. You're really not going to find individuals reviewing it with the same amount of unanimity, of just unanimous opinion that you find for this product. And I always say the reason why is we might have different opinions when it comes to books or movies or food, but we have no choice in our biochemistry. We all share the same biochemistry. And so when it comes to Essential One just addresses the biochemistry, also listens to the feedback. Since I've been making products for 40 years, it listens to your feedback. Most of the vitamins you see out on the market are not manufactured by the company that's selling them. They're manufactured by contract manufacturers. So also at my company, we have a very well-staffed customer care center. So I could hear all your criticism firsthand if you call in. I read your reviews as well. So I make sure this product has, over the years, evolved to become the perfect product that it is. It's not an accident, it's your feedback. It's the science and your feedback that makes it a perfect product. And in addition to our Essential One, because vitamin K2 is a separate vitamin that not everyone chooses to supplement, it's best delivered in a liquid soft gel, whereas our Essential One is a powder-filled capsule. So that liquid soft gel, our vitamin K2 MK7, anybody who's consuming calcium in their diet or supplementing calcium separately, vitamin K2 MK7 is just as important as that calcium and just as important as that vitamin D, because vitamin K2 MK7 is what makes sure that calcium goes to the sites in your body where you want it, in your bones, where it's critical to the health and structure of your bones, that it's retained within the cells where it works within all the cells of your body, but it doesn't go to tissues we don't want it to go in, causing undesirable calcification, as you might consider in our arteries. So in fact, recent research, clinical studies on vitamin K2 MK7 showed that it actually enhanced in relatively short periods of time, a matter of months, the flexibility, the arterial flexibility, reduced arterial stiffness. And the flexibility of our arteries is one of the most important qualities we could all possess in terms of an anti-aging type quality. We think of our joints being flexible as being desirable. I would even prefer over that, as important as that is, flexible arteries. So vitamin K2 MK7 supports and promotes arterial resiliency, flexibility, and it does so because it helps our body manage calcium. As I often say, it acts as a police officer, kind of a traffic cop in our body, making sure that calcium goes where it's supposed to go, stays where it's supposed to stay, and doesn't go or stay where it ought not go. So vitamin K2 MK7, a critical and logical addition to any multivitamin, multimineral, because it is a vitamin itself, and it bears no relationship directly to vitamin K1, which is entirely about blood clotting. Vitamin K2 MK7 focuses on the management of calcium within our body, which all of us must consume calcium in our diet, or we must supplement, or both. And vitamin K2, MK7 is critical to all of us who consider calcium an important nutrient and want to make sure it stays where it's supposed to and doesn't go where it's not supposed to. So both products basically are at buy one, get one free pricing. Today's special pricing, their best pricing ever in the case of Essential 1 and in the case of our vitamin K2, MK7. Enjoy, and I will see you later today at midnight for the formal kickoff of our two Today Specials. Thanks.